Hi everyone, I'm Angie, partner and marketing VP at CROING, a women-founded and women-led creative agency. Today, I'm thrilled to welcome you to another edition of our initiative, Women Who Network: Stories of Connection and Success. As I always say, networking has played a key role in my career, and I have found through many conversations that it is an area that many women still don't feel confident in or need a little push to be encouraged to explore further. At CROING, we're motivated to inspire and empower women to feel more confident in networking, and we believe that by sharing stories and experiences, we can encourage them to connect and grow together. I'm super excited to introduce our special guest today, Lalaina. Thank you so much for joining us and for being part of this initiative. I'm confident that your story will motivate many women to embrace networking with more confidence. Please let us know more about you. Can you introduce yourself to our community?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you for having me. This is a wonderful initiative. So wonderful. So my name is Lalaina Rabary, and I am the North American Marketing Manager for Mom Cozy. We are a maternity and baby brand serving 3 million plus moms in 60 plus countries and regions worldwide. So it's a fun job, it's a big job. But I have been a marketer for over 14 years now. I am just so in love with connecting with people and putting forth initiatives that really make an impact in their lives. And so when it came to motherhood, I'm a mother. I have a 2-year-old that is, I call him a wild child. So it's wonderful to have a career that blends both my personal life and really my passion for helping moms and helping women also find confidence in new ways as well. So that's just a little bit about me. I live in Austin, Texas.
I wanted to let everyone know how I met Lalaina. We met through LinkedIn. I reached out to her because I love Mom Cozy. When I first got pregnant, I started researching about brands that could help me, through that journey. And I found Mom Cozy. I also have a 2-year-old, so it was 2 years ago. And after that, I went to New York for a Mom Cozy pop-up, and I fell in love with the brand again. So thank you so much for being here, Lalaina. I'm so
Oh, a
happy.
pleasure.
Yes,
A pleasure.
I'm so happy. So let's dive right into your story. My first question is, when did you start networking, and how has your perspective evolved from where you first started to now?
Gosh, when I think about this, networking actually really started for me in college. You think back so early on, that's like over a decade ago, but really trying to build relationships that were going to lead to just professional success. I think that started as early as looking for internships, connecting with professors. That's where that skill built. And since then, it's just really has the same hallmarks. I would say it's always been focused on being polished and professional, putting your best foot forward. But as you grow in your career, I think networking becomes a little less feels a little less pressure because you have enough to talk about now and you can feel like you can be your authentic self. So it's really evolved into just creating relationships in new ways and spaces. And I really love how social media has evolved networking for us to form connections. Like we formed a connection together on LinkedIn and we have so much in common. And so that is so wonderful to be able to connect with someone online as well, whether networking is putting a comment under somebody's post or reaching out to a DM. I think people are so open and they're looking to find genuine relationships. So yeah, that's really how it's kind of evolved over the last decade.
Yes, that's so cool for you to say. And definitely social media, especially LinkedIn, has helped everyone get their foot in the door of, new
Right.
contacts and stuff without the need of going to a specific event or, but it's just like a starting point because I love to be able, for example, for me, I love to be able to network in person in these types of events or in different communities, not only in
Yes.
marketing, but your community in your neighborhood. So it's really cool to be able to seize every opportunity and online and in-person opportunities. So that definitely is pretty amazing. And
Absolutely.
what do you do, Lalaina, to establish genuine and meaningful connections when you network?
Listening is the number one thing I do to establish a genuine relationship. I think so often we listen because we want to respond, but I've really had to work on listen, give somebody space and ask them questions. And when you show true interest in somebody, I think that's where a good relationship can form, right? You get to learn about someone. You're assessing if you have things in common, right? Do you share the right values together? Do you share the similar values, whether that's in business or personal? So I really, really try to establish a good foundation of listening first and asking some really great questions. I think another thing that's important is follow up. And I know it can feel, you have to be tactful, of course, but
Mhm.
following each other on LinkedIn right away is dropping a note just saying that, it was wonderful meeting you. In following up without expectation, I think
Yeah.
is really important. That's when I found the real opportunities come about when you just, again, showcase how authentic you are, you follow up without expectation, and you let things build naturally. And I think the last thing is I don't take it too seriously. I want to be myself. I don't think anything's too serious. And I really like to showcase humor and I like to bring levity to a conversation. And ultimately, when you're at an event, people want to have fun. And so I bring my personal life. I talk about my daughter. I talk about my cat. I try to find areas and points of connection and I don't make it too professional because I think that's where it shines when you can be yourself.
And that's so funny that you mentioned that because you're one of the few people that have introduced themselves with something other related than their job position.
Wow.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, and that's pretty cool because when a lot of them have given advice towards not only talking about their profession but also their personal life and stuff, but in terms of the intro, you have been one of the few, if not the only one. So thank you so much for that, and it goes to show that you see networking and this type of initiative not only as a professional stuff but also like something to bring yourself
Right.
out there and your personal life and stuff. I think that that's really important.
Well, and it's so funny you say this because I have always done that. I think, as opportunities have come and gone, you realize that you want to be involved in something where somebody can welcome you as who you are. And when you're a mom, that is a really large part of your life. And that's never something to hide. And it's something to be so proud of because the best work we can do is into our children. And that's such an important part of who I am. And I put that front and center. And it's actually how I landed the opportunity at Mom Cozy. I was really open about my journey as a mother, and that was a point of attraction for the brand.
No, that's amazing. And what's the most unexpected opportunity that has come from a networking event or connection?
Man, this is so funny. Oh, it's not funny. It's actually a little tragic at first. I was laid off at 30 weeks pregnant. Yeah, eyes wide open. And the next day, I remember receiving three separate calls from people I had met in my career. I had maybe had a little bit of interaction with them, but those three calls ended up resulting in consulting projects that ended up allowing me to fund my life in between jobs. And I say that story because oftentimes, we may look at networking as just an event, just an official event to go network, but it's happening constantly. You're growing and building relationships constantly, and you never know what's going to come of that because people are always looking for people that can add value to their lives, whether it's professional or personal. So it was just so serendipitous that that happened. It was completely unexpected, but it all ended up for good. And so if anybody is going through, I know like a job loss right now, and a lot of people are struggling with it, really have hope and tap into your network. There are a lot of people that are looking for your talent. So
Yes, totally. And I think those moments are when, I mean, networking is amazing in every moment of our life, but those moments are the ones that you
yeah.
say, thank God I met this person, or thank God I went to that event and I kept
Thank
following
God.
up with them because, oh my God. And I always say this as well, when you have this amazing position and this amazing job, maybe it's the job of your dreams and stuff, you still need to keep networking and keep your contacts alive and keep your network alive. Not only because bad things can happen, but you make sure you have your network.
Yes.
You form your network and you have this kind of safety net that is not always going to be another company, another
Yes.
job. It can
Yeah.
be like your circle, and
Oh, yeah.
even a word of encouragement in those difficult times can be amazing to get from any person in your network. So yes, it's so cool that you said.
And I would say if you are in the position where you can support somebody, it's really important part of my career journey now is if you're in that position, please support people around you, people people within your network that are seeking those opportunities. I know that's a little bit of an aside, but I really wanted to note that in our interview.
Yes, totally amazing. And do you have any favorite networking events or communities? Give us your recommendations.
I love Creative Mornings, and Creative Mornings is nationwide. They're a breakfast and lecture series. They bring together creatives, and I believe creativity is simply solving problems in a new way. So everybody is creative. I'm just going to share that right now. But I love it. You get there, you have coffee, there's breakfast tacos, and you're really able to connect with people and get inspired. And you can find inspiration. I find inspiration in so many unique things. And as marketers, our job is always to kind of reflect back what the feelings and the sentiments of the world are. And that's a big job. That's a lot. It's a lot coming at us, and always having new ideas and have new inspiration. And so I love Creative Mornings because I have found really great ideas from even the most nuanced or maybe niche of lectures. So shout out to them. Check them out. They're all over.
Yes, amazing. And next question is, do you have a question for me?
So we're sharing, you've had so many interviews with so many women, and what are some of the things that have you really garnered your series and your conversations? What has really kind of inspired you in these conversations that you've had?
That's amazing that you mentioned that, because of course I went in looking also for these new tips and these new, collaborations and this new network that I've created as well. But it has been amazing to really get these tools that I didn't have in mind but are so useful. So these are my favorite ones. One, I used to do that, but I didn't do this intentionally. Commenting, like to start a conversation with someone at an in-person event or a meeting and stuff, commenting on their outfit and flattering the way that they
Yeah.
live is so cool, because I actually put a lot of thought into what I'm going to wear to an event and in my everyday life, because I love fashion and dressing up and all of that. So that advice actually came from Kelly Montoya, head of partnership of the city of Miami, and we worked with her, and I was like, yes, Kelly, that's amazing to know. And it was so cool. And another one of my favorite, it happened recently and the episode hasn't come out yet actually, is invest in yourself. Like this woman had really a difficult time networking, and she invested on a confidence course, and she did a course about confidence and leadership and building skills. And I was like, obviously it is so important to invest in yourself and to understand your capabilities and work on improving the ones that don't come so naturally to you. So I think those two are my favorite tips that I've got.
Thanks for those. Now I can have some of those tips myself.
Thank you so much for that question, baby. And what advice would you give to women who are hesitant to engage in networking?
I would think about why you're hesitant. Think about that a little bit. Process, are you scared of meeting new people? Is the environment really not match your personality? Think about what makes you hesitant, because oftentimes it's first recognizing, what is getting in our way. Once you recognize that, then you can find ways to overcome those things. So I would first do that. And the number one thing that I tell myself before I go to any room, I close my eyes and I say, people on the other side can't wait to meet you. They can't wait to meet you. And when you tell yourself that, you open the door, you walk in the room, it really changes your mindset, because it's true. It's not an empty platitude. It's true. There's somebody on the other side of that door that cannot wait to meet you and learn about you. And there's value and worth in every single person. And so always remember that, because that really carries you through. You got to hype yourself up most of the time. So be your own hype girl.
Thank you so much, Lalaina. Thank you for sharing your incredible insights with us. It's truly inspiring to hear how networking has shaped your journey. To all of you listening, reading, or watching, remember, your network is your net worth. Stay tuned for more inspiring stories in our next edition of Women Who Network, Stories of Connection and Success. And if you want to be part or propose someone for this space, please email me to Angie@CROING.com. Until next time, keep networking and growing.